You're with the Breaker-Leggers!
And the Guest Leggers.
Guest Leggers.
I'm not Simon.
Not Simon.
And I'm Sheff.
And no one cares what my real name is.
No, we really don't.
No.
But we are at the old fire station in Oxford.
To watch the UK tour of Trainspotting live.
So stick around to find out how many legs.
Whether it's break a leg
Or
leg it! So, what do we know about the piece?
Trainspotting Live is based upon the punchy and passionate novel by Irvine Welsh, which was turned into the 1996 globally successful film directed by Danny Boyle.
the film was a launchpad for many actors' careers, including Ewan McGregor, Kelly MacDonald, and Johnny Lee Miller, and of course it was a massive springboard for Danny Boyle himself.
It tells the story of a group of friends living through the heroin-fueled scenes of 80s Edinburgh. This is a no-holds-barred, in-your-face, immersive theatrical experience which lasts for 75 minutes, contains warnings of nudity, very strong language, of a violent and sexual nature, and heavy drug and needle use.
Sounds like a normal Saturday night for us, babe.
The Breaker-Leggers saw Trainspotting live last year in London at the Volts Theatre Waterloo, and we loved it! In fact, we featured it at number 3 of our top pieces of theatre in our 2016 roundup. So I'm excited to be seeing it again in a different venue with some different cast members and with some guest leggers.
We'll let you know what we thought when you join us at the end.
So we have come to the end of Trainspotting at the old fire station in Oxford. Let's go over this way. How did you find that?
I found that relentless. I don't think it would be for everyone, but for me, that it was everything I expected. It was everything it should have been. But
Is
yeah,
that a good thing or a bad
it's
thing?
definitely a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. But I do feel like I have been beaten up a little bit.
Okay.
In a good way.
Can you be beaten up in a good way? Is this beaten up in a good way? Okay.
You can.
What do you reckon, Roy?
Yeah, I reckon that you've taken all the elements from the film that make it such a good film, and then you're put in the middle of that, so you're interacting with what's going on. Like there were parts where we were involved. We weren't watching a performance, we were in a performance, we were part of it, and you felt the emotion you felt for the characters, and each time an emotion was there, it was much easier to feel it because you were in that emotion with them. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, with it being an immersive piece,
Yeah, definitely.
you are with it completely. I was so on edge. This is the second time I've seen it now. And there's such an element of being so uncomfortable, not sure where the next threat is going to come from. You don't feel safe in any way. And you imagine that is what it must be like to be in that kind of life, where drugs is your life, and the kind of people who are involved with that is terrifying. And there were points where we were out of our seats because we were scared of what was going to happen. Were there any performances that stood out to you guys?
I mean, Gavin Ross playing the lead was incredible. He had your grips. He was the guy who made you feel like, that was your best mate. And then all of a sudden he did something, you'd be like, oh, no, you shouldn't be doing that. And then he'd do something like Tom was trying to rectify it. And you're like, yeah, he is a good guy. And then he'd do something shit again. And then he'd do something good again. He really balanced that whole, this is like they said in the show, he's not a very nice bloke, but he's your mate. That's what he felt like the entire way through.
Yes, yes, you're absolutely right. Is it Mark Renton, I think, is the part he plays, which is the lead character, which kind of tells a story. It is so clever because it drops in from narration to kind of talking to the audience and then dropping into scenes with other characters, and then everybody else drops into narration. It just beautifully dances around, and before you know it, they're sitting next to you, and then you're a part of it. They're hugging you, they're pulling pints away from other people. They're starting a fight with you. You almost got started on, almost got asked on a date.
I got to dance at the start.
Got to dance at the start. It is an intense show. I think that's the only way you can describe it, as intense. And it takes you on a real journey. To start with, it's very immersive. And then it pulls away from that, and you get lured into this real serious element, this dark side of what drugs can do to people and the relationships around them.
I think when you get to that point where you think, oh man, that's harsh, that's really difficult, like to be like that, and then they pull in something else and make it, actually no, it's worse than that, and then they pull something else in and it's even worse than that, and you just can't imagine how bad it is until the end when you're sat there and you feel like going and hugging them because they've all hit rock bottom and you just want to go and come from.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure if I wasn't as hard as I am, that I would have been in tears at points. Now I could feel those emotional bonds tapping, thinking,
Absolutely.
this is the point where I would be breaking down in tears if it wasn't so shocking.
Yeah. And there were points where you were drawn in, and I felt transfixed, and I couldn't necessarily pick out one cast member in particular because I think they were all phenomenal.
Yes.
But you just found yourself transfixed with different characters at certain points in their story, and that for me was where it became most upsetting.
Yeah.
When it really drew you in. So,
the cast, you're right, the cast is fantastically strong. It's, I think, was there seven?
Yeah, 7, I think.
7 in the cast, all fantastic job. In terms of staging, it's very simple staging. It's 2 sets of seating is how they do it.
It's basically a drug den, isn't it? It's a knackered sofa on one end.
I never thought of that.
And then it's just nothing else.
We were part of a drug den.
It's basically a drug den.
That's exactly what it was. There's nothing glamorous about it at all. It's just the lighting that takes us from place to place. The actors jumping. As soon as one scene is over, the next actor is in with a new narrative. So you're constantly being dragged along. That 75 minutes seemed like 40, if that, to me, is kind of what I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else anyone wants to add?
No, I don't think so.
No, it was just one of the best things I've ever seen, and it was like you said as we left, it was like theatre should be. You were involved.
Yes.
You felt like you were part of this. It wasn't a performance. You were there. You were involved in it.
Yeah.
You were there, you were involved in it, and that is, to me, what theatre should be about. Not just a spectator sport, something you are dragged into. This is why you don't just watch the film. That's why you sit, immerse yourself in it with the actors this close to your face. So, how many legs for this piece, I hear you ask? So, for Trainspotting Live, which is currently touring the UK, we are going to give 5! A full house, a full house. I'm telling you, there is a reason why this performance, this show, this piece made it to the top 3 of our roundup of 2016 because it's so freaking good. I'm so happy to have managed to see it again, and it was everything it lived up to me to be.
Go see it.
Go see it. I think that's all we can say. Go see it. What I'll do is I'll try and leave a link to venues that he's going to on this tour. Please keep an eye out for it because I really do recommend you see it. Not just in terms of the piece, but also the performances were fantastic, and the narrative, the writing of Irvine Welsh is brilliant. We were the Break Leggers with guest leggers. Thank you very much for joining us. Tell us what you think if you managed to see it. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on YouTube and Twitter, and we'll see you again soon. Bye! Bolts Theatre, Waterloo. Hey!
We've just seen it. Awesome show.
What did you think?
It was absolutely awesome. I loved every single minute.
Why
I
did you
cried,
like it?
I was just so emotional. I was part of it. It was absolutely fantastic.
Okay, would you recommend it?
Absolutely recommend it. Yeah.
Don't sit next to the toilet.
We don't need to go and
We
watch it
sat
now.
next to the toilet. He was retching. I was just going to throw up.